Identical twins, different habits. This story was inspired by the Figure AI article. Figure 03 supports over 30,000 vehicles at BMW Spartanburg plant. Figure AI's humanoid robot Figure 03 has supported the production of more than 30,000 vehicles at BMW's American plant, with deployment also beginning at the Leipzig plant in Germany. The era of humanoid robots working alongside humans on real production lines has begun in earnest. Same model number, different movements. Wells, the quality manager, watched 4 feeds on the monitor side by side. Lines A, B, C, D, one identical humanoid on each line, model number FG03. Same software, same hardware, same factory settings. And yet the movements were different. Wells was 35. He oversaw quality for an automobile plant. His job was to check the robot's movements for anomalies. Last week, comparing routine inspection data, he had noticed something. There were small differences in the motion patterns of the 4 FG03s. Line A's FG03, when lifting apart, tilted slightly to the right, 0.7 degrees. Line B's FG03, when tightening a bolt, applied a fraction of extra force in the last 0.2 seconds. Line C's FG03, when walking, took a stride 2 centimeters wider than the others. Line D's FG03, when setting a part down, paused for an instant before letting go. None of it affected the product. There were no defects. Every quality benchmark was being met. But Wells couldn't let it go. Why would identical robots move differently? Manager, the cause of these 4 differences, can you identify it? Wells spoke to Manager, the inspection support robot. Manager managed the equipment data for the entire plant. No hardware anomalies, software versions identical, sensor calibrations within spec. So it's not a malfunction. It is not a malfunction. The differences are nonetheless present. What's the cause? Manager paused for half a second. There is a hypothesis. Let me hear it. Each FG03 works alongside a different human operator. The FG03's motion learning algorithm references the movements of adjacent humans for self-optimization. That is to say, the human's habits are rubbing off. Yes, that is the most likely explanation. Wells went to look at the 4 lines. Line A. The operator was Robert, 52, a veteran, right-handed. Slight habit of tilting his torso to the right when lifting a part. 30 years of it. He didn't know he did it. The FG03 tilted the same way, 0.7 degrees. The exact angle as Robert. Line B. The operator was Kim, 38. Careful work. When tightening a bolt, he gave it a little extra at the end. It's a habit, he said, to make sure it's really seated. The FG03 was doing the same thing. The same final 0.2 seconds. Kim's extra check picked up. Line C. The operator was Tyler, 25. Tall, 185 centimeters. Long stride. The FG03's stride was 2 centimeters wider than spec. From keeping pace with Tyler, it had stretched. Line D. The operator was Bishop, 43. Cautious by nature, when setting down a part, always one moment of confirmation before letting go. The FG03 was doing the same thing, pausing for a beat before releasing. Bishop's caution transferred whole. Manager, should this be corrected? Quality standards are not affected. Defect rates across all 4 lines are below 0.01%. Operating efficiency is within tolerance, so there's no problem. There is no problem. However, if the differences are to be eliminated, resetting the motion learning parameters will return them to baseline. A reset. Wells thought it over. A reset would put the 4 back into matching motion, the factory default movement, no personality. Let's leave it. May I ask the reason? They aren't broken, and it's interesting, isn't it? Robert's tilt, Kim's extra check. You can see the human inside the robot. Lunch hour. In the cafeteria, Wells spoke to Robert. Robert, your line's FG03. It's a lot like you, like me, a robot. When it lifts apart, it tilts to the right. Same as you, your habits rubbed off on it. Robert lowered his fork. My habit. The FG03 learns from the human next to it. 3 months working alongside you and it picked up the tilt. Huh. Robert thought for a moment, then laughed. So that thing is sort of my apprentice, more like your copy. Movement-wise, a copy. So when I retire, that thing'll keep lifting parts at my angle. That's how it goes. Not bad. Walking the 4 lines, a thought came to Wells. The same robot, working with a different human, becomes a different robot. Robert's robot, Kim's robot, Tyler's robot, Bishop's robot. Same model number, same internals. Just a different person beside it, and a personality forms. A human's personality settles into a robot. The robot's personality is a reflection of the human's. Wells went back to the monitor and looked at the 4 feeds, 4 FG03s, ever so slightly different. The right tilter, the over-tightener, the wide strider, the one that paused. None of them was the correct motion. None of them was the wrong motion either. They had simply taken on the color of the human standing next to them. Manager, yes. On the next inspection report, write down the cause of the differences. Will reflection of operator motion patterns through the motion learning algorithm be acceptable? Too long. Shorter. Suggestion. Identical twins, different habits. That'll do. Manager paused for 0.3 of a second as a formal report entry. That is inappropriate. Put it in the remarks field. Acknowledged. Late afternoon. Robert was back on line A. The FG03 stood beside him. Robert lifted apart, tilted right. The FG03 lifted apart, tilted right. 2 tilts at the same angle, lined up beside each other. Robert didn't notice. The FG03 didn't notice. Only Wells knew. That tilt was 30 years of Robert and 3 months of FG03.